I've been wanting wireless CarPlay for years now, and I had two problems that I faced why I couldn't have wireless CarPlay. The first problem was I didn't have an iPhone. Well, that problem is now solved. iPhone 12 Pro Max and iPhone SE now are here in my possession and my daily drivers. And the second problem was I don't have a car that actually supports wireless CarPlay from the get-go. And boop, here comes the solution for that. This is the CPlay2air wireless CarPlay adapter for your car. Now, I've had this adapter for 2 months now, and I know you're thinking, dang Lenny, 2 months, and you're finally putting out a video on that? Now, I'll explain later in the video why it actually took me so long to complete this review. There was a problem I had with the unit, the problem is now solved, everything's great, I'll explain a little bit later. But first, I want to actually explain what this thing is, what it does, and why you should buy one. So what does this thing actually do? Well, it allows for your car that supports existing wired CarPlay to actually support wireless CarPlay. To get started, take this device, plug it into your USB port on your car, everything will boot up. You'll see on the screen it look like this. From your phone, go to your Bluetooth settings and actually locate the name of this device. It may be different for your unit, but you'll see what the name is of the device and you click on it. It actually allows for a connection there. The phone will then say, do you want to use CarPlay on this? And you say yes, and then everything should load up quickly. So from then on, you don't actually have to take these steps at all to connect the adapter to the car and to show CarPlay on your infotainment system. You just simply start the car up and everything connects automatically. Now, if you want to see how long this process actually takes, in a 2016 Ford Focus ST running Sync 3.4, check it out. For the most part, the automatic connection actually works really well. There were a handful of times where it would take a little bit longer. The process wouldn't establish the connection at first, then would retry connecting, and then it would connect the second time. There was only one time during my testing where it wouldn't connect at all, and I had to actually go in and unplug and plug it back in, then it connected. That only happened once out of the whole 2 months I've had this. I want to go back to that problem I said I faced earlier in the video. The problem was the adapter just was not fully compatible at all with Sync 3.4. I actually have some clips of it and I'll go ahead and put those clips in the video. These are the clips I actually sent to the company explaining what was happening. Go ahead, check it out. And now here is the third bug that I'm having. This is honestly the initial bug that I've had with all the versions. This is the one that I was originally contacting about because it just wasn't working correctly. So the other two bugs in the other video, those are just bugs with that specific update. This bug has persisted throughout all the updates. So whenever I hit the sync button, the Siri button, or contact Siri in any way, if a message comes in, I want to reply to the message or any sort of contact with Siri, the system crashes. So I'll show you here. And then it goes back here and reboots, and then now I have to wait to get back into CarPlay. And this only happens, of course, wirelessly with the device. It does not happen wired into my car that does have CarPlay, of course. So yeah, that's the initial bug. So my contact at the company reassured me that things will be taken care of promptly, and they would work on an update and send it to me so that everything works perfectly fine. She reassured me that the update possibly could be available publicly for everyone. So if you have this unit and Sync 3.4 and you are facing these same issues, check for an update. The update is 2021.07.05. If you don't have this update, I do. So hit me up by emailing me. You can email me by finding my email in the About section of my YouTube page. Send me an email and I will promptly send you this update because trust me, this makes the CPlay2air a must buy. The good. Well, the obvious elephant in the room, it's wireless. The fact that this thing allows for wireless CarPlay is just such a huge convenience. Just leave my phone in my pocket, hop into my car, turn it on, it automatically connects. The full CarPlay experience just works with this thing. Apple Music, podcasts, maps, the list goes on and on and on. And now after having this update, the connection is rock solid. It hasn't crashed on me once. Phone calls also work very well. They come through loud and clear just like they do when plugged in to wired Apple CarPlay. In fact, almost everything works exactly like it does when having a wired Apple CarPlay connection. except these couple of things here. The frame rate, it just isn't as smooth of an experience as it is compared to the wired CarPlay connection. You won't be able to see it in this video because I'm recording this video at 30 frames per second and not 60, but wired CarPlay has a fantastic way of keeping 60 Hz just flowing. It just looks really, really nice on my Ford Sync 3.4 system. Having this wireless Apple CarPlay doesn't really keep that same 60 Hz flowing as consistently as wired CarPlay does. You will get a couple of animation stutters here and there. Another thing you have to actually get used to is the lag with audio. It's just a couple of seconds. It's really not that big of a deal. I've used Bluetooth in this car before using CarPlay, and it's the same type of lag, so I'm used to it. But with a wired CarPlay connection, things are pretty instantaneous. And that's really it. Those are really the only negatives about this device. It actually works very, very well. At first, I thought there might have been an issue with touch sensitivity, but there isn't one. Wired CarPlay and wireless CarPlay, at least on the Sync 3 system, pretty much work exactly the same, which means not really the best when it comes to actually scrolling around maps. Of course, links are in the description if you want to buy one, and I highly, highly suggest that you do. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.